Shalom, brothers. We're from Toronto camp. All right, we give praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and double honors to the elders, great millstone, and honors to the elect.
That's right.
All right, and basically we're gonna go into disproving Yahanna, General Yahanna. All right, and this other guy who's teaching that basically we can't have concubines, women of the other nation, and that you have biracial Israelites and women have seed and all this craziness, man. So we'll start off with Ezra 9,
Yeah.
1 to 7.
This is Ezra's chapter 9, verse 1. Now, when these things were done, the princes came to me, saying, the people of Israel and the priests and the Levites have not separated themselves from the people of the lands, doing according to their abominations, even of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Jebusites, the Ammonites, the Moabites, the Egyptians, and the Amorites, for they have taken of their daughters for themselves and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yea, the hand of the princes and the rulers have been chief in this trespass. And when I heard this thing, I rent my garment and my mantle, and plucked off the hair of my head and of my beard, and sat down astonied, 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 astonied,
Yeah, that's Stony.
astonied. Then were assembled unto me every one that trembled at the words of Yahweh of Israel, because of the transgression of those that had been carried away. And I sat astonied until the evening sacrifice. And at the evening sacrifice, it's not there yet. And at the evening sacrifice, I arose up from my heaviness, and having rent my garment and my mantle, I fell upon my knees and spread out my hands unto the Lord my God, and said, O my God, I am ashamed and blush to lift up my face to thee, my God, for our iniquities are increased over our head, and our trespass is grown up unto the heavens. Since the days of our fathers have we been in a great trespass unto this day, and for our iniquities have we, our kings and our priests, been delivered into the hand of the kings of the lands, to the sword, to captivity, and to a spoil, and to confusion of face, as it is this day.
Yeah, so basically, what you're gonna find out is that the reason why uh, the people went off was not because they took those concubines. It was because they followed after their gods. All right, and because also the get Nehemiah 13, chapter 13, verse 23, and we'll read to 27. All right, because you got guys saying you can't have concubines, but the only reason that we went off is because we taught our children the customs of the heathen, basically. You know, I'll read that.
Nehemiah chapter 13, verse 23. In those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon,
Hold on, it said of Ammon. Now Solomon, he married a woman of Ammon, and they produced who? Rehoboam,
Khan.
right? And he wasn't a wicked king, in the overall.
Most righteous.
He didn't go off like in a big sense, but he was a mixed seed according to you niggas, but really he was a pure seed. He came from Solomon, because the man carries the seed, man. It doesn't matter what your mother is, man. All right, and you see that Rehoboam didn't go off because he didn't follow the ways of the heathen. So there's no problem with Solomon having what was her name, Naamah, the Ammonite, as a wife, as a concubine. All right, read on.
It says, in those days also saw I Jews that had married wives of Ashdod, of Ammon, and of Moab, and their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod.
That was the problem. Their children, they didn't learn Hebrew.
Con.
They spoke half the language of Ashdod. That was a problem, man. The problem wasn't that they were taking them women as concubines. The problem was that those kids were learning after the customs of the heathen. Okay, read on.
Says, and their children spake half in the speech of Ashdod, and could not speak in Jews' language.
They couldn't speak in the Jews' language. They couldn't speak Hebrew. All right, read on.
But according to the language of each people. And I contended with them, and cursed them, and smote certain of them, and plucked off their hair, and made them swear by God, saying, Ye shall not give your daughters unto their sons, nor take their daughters unto your sons, or for yourselves. To 20, which one?
27.
Oh, Salakia. Verse 26. Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things? Yet among many nations was there no king like him.
That's right. So Solomon sinned by, what did it say? It said he took concubines, but in his old age he hearkened unto their gods.
That's right.
And he built an altar unto their gods, man. That's how he sinned. He didn't sin by taking them as concubines.
No.
All right, read on.
Said, did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things?
Because then, hold on, Abraham, Keturah, she was a concubine. Did Abraham sin? No. All right, because Abraham didn't follow after her gods. All right, read on.
Did not Solomon, king of Israel, sin by these things? Yet among many nations was there no king like him, who was beloved of his God, and God made him king over all Israel. Nevertheless, even him did outlandish women cause to sin. Shall we then hearken unto you to do all this great evil, to transgress against our God in marrying strange wives?
Go to Deuteronomy 7, verse 1. This is where it's gonna explain it, why it's a sin for your children to follow the ways of the heathen. It's gonna explain that it's all right to take the wives, but it's not. It's the wicked part is when the children learn the way of the heathen. Read it.
Deuteronomy 7 and 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it,
right? That was Canaan, right?
And hath cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites, the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them, and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt not make no covenant with them, nor shew mercy unto them, neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son, for they will turn away thy son from following me.
Now, what happened during the conquest of the land of Israel during Joshua's time? When the tribes conquered, they made peace treaties with the Canaanites and made them tributaries, and they became like thorns in their sides, man. They became snares unto them because they started worshiping their gods. Okay, read on.
Says, neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son, for they will turn away the son, for they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. Yep. So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. But thus shall ye deal with them, and ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. For thou art an holy people.
That was just the 5.
Oh, slucky.
Now I'm gonna bring out a definition of concubine just so you brothers understand. And this is from the Webster's dictionary, right? It says concubine, a woman who cohabits with a man without being legally married to him, a kept mistress, a wife of inferior condition, such as were allowed in ancient Greece and Rome, a lawful wife but not united to the man by the usual ceremonies. So it tells you that a concubine is basically a woman that you have sex with, but you don't have a ceremony with her. Because with an Israelite woman, you have a ceremony. It tells you have the ceremony, then you go in the chambers and you have sex, and that constitutes your marriage. But with a concubine, by the way, the word concubine, con means with, and bind means to lie with. That's all you do. You lie with the woman. You have sex with the woman. That's all you do. All right. You're looking up concubine there.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Get Numbers 31. All right, because we're gonna show you that during Moses' time, that the Israelites they took women of the Hamites, man. When they went to conquer when they fought against the Hamites and the other nations. All right.
31 verse 1.
Yeah, to 18.
Numbers chapter 31 verse 1. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Avenge the children of Israel of the Midianites afterward. Shalt thou be gathered unto thy people? And Moses spake unto the people, saying, Arm some of yourselves unto the war. Let them go against the Midianites and avenge the Lord of Midian. Of every tribe 1,000 throughout all the tribes of Israel shall ye send to the war. So there were delivered out of the thousands of Israel 1,000 of every tribe, 12,000 armed for war. And Moses sent them to the war, 1,000 of every tribe. Them and Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the priest, to the war with the holy instruments and the trumpets to blow in his hand. And they warred against the Midianites as the Lord commanded Moses. And they slew all the males, and they slew the kings of Midian, beside the rest of them, and were slain, namely Evi and Rakim, and Zor, and Hor, and Reba, 5 kings of Midian. Balaam also the son of Beor they slew with the sword. And the children of Israel took all the women of Midian captives,
Yep.
and their little ones. And
so they took their women and their little ones. All right. Showing you that the little ones were used for what? Slaves, man. You know, when they grow up, they're used for different tasks. And the women, what do you think the women are left for, man? Okay, read on.
It says, and the children of Israel took all the women of Midian captives, and their little ones, and took the spoil of all their cattle, and all their flocks, and all their goods. And they burnt all their cities wherein they dwelt, and all their goodly castles with fire. And they took all the spoil and all the prey, both of men and of beasts. And they brought the captives and the prey and the spoil unto Moses and Eleazar the priest, and unto the congregation of Israel, unto the camp at the plains of Moab, which are by Jordan near Jericho. To verse 12?
27.
Oh, Slakia.
No, 18, Slakia.
Verse 13. And Moses and Eleazar the priests and all the princes of the congregation went forth to meet them without the camp. And Moses was wroth with the officers of the host, with the captains over thousands, and captains over hundreds, which came from the battle. And Moses said unto them, Have ye saved all the women alive? Behold, these caused the children of Israel through the counsel of Balaam to commit trespass against the Lord in the matter of Peor. And there was a plague among the congregation of the Lord. Now therefore kill every male among the little ones, and kill every woman that hath known man by lying with him.
Right, meaning kill the women that have have had sex with men. Read on.
Says, but all the women and children that have not known a man.
Right, all the women and children that have not known a man, meaning the women virgins. Read on.
But all the women, children that have not known a man by lying with him, keep alive for yourselves.
Keep alive for yourselves. read it. That was 18?
Yeah, that's 18.
That's plain, man.
It's plain.
Keep alive for yourselves, man. And it says the women, children, Yahanna, talking about raping 12-year-old, 13-year-old. What is a woman child? That means a young woman.
Yeah.
or a woman right before her menstrual cycle, so when she gets a menstrual cycle, you can pop her because she's a virgin.
Cunt.
That cuts you, man.